Some nipple biting's gonna go on in here. We better start.
Yep. It's beginning.
1, 2, 1, 2, bite your nipples. Behave yourself, Meghan Tonjes.
MEGHAN TONJES.
Dreams and memories. Hit it, girl!
When the kids go to sleep.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Can you believe this live audience? You really brought him out tonight.
I know, I tried.
You packed the house. And what's up with all of this blue eyeliner everybody's wearing?
It's insane, right?
Oh, Shay, you're so funny.
I got the best ha-has there are.
Oh, my goodness. Eyes are rolling if you can't see me.
Shut
Eyes
it.
are rolling.
Okay, welcome to the podcast, episode 74 of WTKGTS, When the Kids Go to Sleep, right here in Los Angeles, California at Maker Studios.
Good
Meghan
job,
Tonjes
babe.
is on today. Our good friend.
Oh, almost. You tried.
So if you don't know who Meghan is, you have heard her music. I guarantee if you have been watching our vlogs for a while, how many vlogs has your music been in of ours?
A few. Definitely the biggest one was the running one.
The running, yes,
The running.
yes,
The marathon.
The one where the combination of you two ladies, your song and her crying, have made hundreds of thousands of people cry. Whenever I needed like that,
We work together. We're a
that
good team.
emotional kind of nostalgic feeling in one of the vlogs when Brett was editing them. I'm like, hey, can we use one of Megan's songs? Because she has this sound that's kind of like, I don't know, what have you been compared to as far as sound wise?
People say like Ingrid Michaelson or Sarah Bareilles.
Yeah. What about a Nora Jones?
Nora Jones. I've got Nora Jones. I've gotten Tracy Chapman before.
It's just like this, you have this soulful voice. It's kind of like, I want to like lay in a hammock and think about my life kind of voice.
Yeah, it's moody music.
Yeah.
Moody
I
music.
like
It's
it.
driving in your car and crying music.
She's so right.
Oh, Megan. We
So
love
Megan
you.
has the pipes of an angel, and we were trying to decide how we're going to do this because it's kind of a weird setup. We have kind of like limited space here because here in the studio. So we're going to have her play a song and then come sit down with us. And we thought, well, maybe we'll just like cheat it and we'll have her play the song first, and then we'll be like, and now we're gonna have her go to this song. But this is how it's playing out in real life. So she's gonna play the song so that you can hear her and know how awesome she is, and then she's gonna sit down with us and we're gonna chat. Okay, so welcome to the podcast. This is Meghan Tonjes, our special guest, and she's gonna be performing a number for us called This Year. And this is an original song that you wrote.
It is.
Should we have you tell us about it before you sing it, or just sing it?
No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. Take it away.
All right.
Out on the open highway, out in the open air, see the world move beneath me, leaving without a care. I know just where I came from, I don't know where I'll end. Only thing that I'm sure of, I do it all again. I found a boy I could love, maybe I found a few. Even with best intention, they never follow through. If he could take my heart now, he'd put it right in her chest, thinking he'd have a girl he finally could love best. And I'm gonna be fine, fine, fine. I'm gonna be brilliant. This year is gonna be better, and you're gonna see. I'm gonna be stronger, and I'm braver me. And I'm gonna make it, 'cause I said I would, and do all the things you said I never could. This year, this year. I may not be perfection, I never claimed to be. Maybe if I was thin or beautiful classically, all of the things I carry and all of the things I know that I will be loved no matter where I go. And I'm gonna be fine, fine, fine. I'm just gonna be different. This year is gonna be better, and you're gonna see. I'm gonna be stronger, and I'm braver me. And I'm gonna make it, 'cause I said I would, and do all the things you said I never could this year. This year. Maybe you're the kind who needs a light falling down. Maybe you're the kind who needs stars racing toward the ground just to feel the things you wish for are coming true. Sometimes it's hard to get up, maybe it's hard to speak. Think no one understands you, feel like nobody sees. When the nights dark around you, with all of the things you've lost, know that the hope inside you sometimes is worth the cost. And we're gonna be fine, 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 'cause we'll be together. This year is gonna be better, and you're gonna say, I'm gonna be stronger and a braver me. And I'm gonna make it, 'cause I said I would, and do all the things you said I never could this year. I'm gonna make it, gonna make my way back to you. I'm gonna make it, gonna make my way back to you. And I'm gonna make it, gonna make my way back to you. I'm gonna make it, gonna make my way back.
Let's hear it, live studio audience. Put your hands together. Meghan Tonjes. That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was
sound
amazing. You sound gorgeous.
Seriously, it's like a real CD. It was like a CD was playing. Like
good.
when you hear people play it in person, you get a little bit nervous because you're like, oh, maybe they don't sound as good as they do like in their real songs. But that's like awesome.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
Aw.
Thank you.
All right. And we're back. And she's sitting in a chair.
It's like magic.
All right, so that was awesome, Meghan. I just was vlogging with my vlogging device. I was saying, Meghan has very nice teeth.
Oh,
Did you have braces?
I did.
Did you?
I
Me
did.
too.
I had 4 years of
See?
braces.
Brace face.
I am not in this club.
Loser.
Yesterday, I did a photo shoot, and while the makeup artist was doing my makeup, she's like, you have such nice skin. And I was like, oh, all the compliments.
Tell me
I'll
more.
take them.
Tell me more. Tell me how pretty I am.
Did you have to wear headgear? Did you have like an
No.
overbite? I had an overbite, so I had to wear that thing that the thing that goes around the back of your neck with the metal wire.
No.
I wanna
had the rubber
see-
bands.
Yeah,
I want to see what
yes.
you would look like if you hadn't gotten braces.
Oh, it'd be
I
a whole
would-
different story.
I'd look like you.
Would you look like that? Shay, he's so sensitive and sweet.
You know I love you, babe.
Aw.
I'll prove it to you later.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so Meghan just got off a tour. She went from New York. You started in New York.
Mm-hmm.
How many stops did you make?
A lot. I think I played 18 or 19 shows.
Papa yoy.
In a
awesome.
month. Yeah.
That-
it was with my friend Ron Pope, and we traveled like in a 15-passenger van with his band.
I saw your twit pics. You're like, the next month, this is my view. And you're like from the back of the
Bunch
van.
of guys in a van.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
bunch of dudes and you in the back of the van.
Yeah.
That sounded weird.
Every day.
Well,
So that's a rigorous schedule because not only are you driving across the country, but you're stopping. Would you guys like stop like every other night, basically?
Yeah, there were some weeks where we play like 5, 6 shows, and then some where we play like 3 or 4. But it's like every night you're stopping, playing a show, going to a hotel, sleeping, getting back up, driving.
Right.
So
Just out of curiosity, what was your like biggest show? Like how many people were at your biggest show? Which I have something to say about too. And then what was your smallest show?
I feel like there were a few shows that had like 160,
Yeah.
maybe close to 200. Toronto was pretty big.
You
LA
guys went
was
up
pretty
to
big.
Toronto?
Yeah, we
Oh,
went up
wow.
to Toronto and then back down.
nice.
And then maybe some smaller shows. I don't know, like Indiana. We played Indiana, Kansas City, Missouri. But there was always like a good crowd. There's always people just really excited.
do you sometimes you like those smaller shows because you can like talk to the audience a little bit more?
It's a little less overwhelming, which is nice.
Yeah.
And it gets weird though, because I feel like if I'm performing in front of more people, I'm less nervous. But the smaller the group, I feel like I'm looking in people's eyes.
I feel
when I'm
that way
singing.
too,
Right.
actually.
I'm like, I hope they don't think this is about them because I'm I feel it's very intimate right now.
This is not about you. You are here to enjoy my voice. That's true, because when I like hosted at this last VidCon and there's like 7,000 people out there, it was kind of like they just all blended in. But when there's like, you can see individual faces like looking and judging you like right there. It's a little bit makes you more nervous when there's fewer people.
Yeah, it's a little bit more intense. You have to close your eyes and kind of be like, okay, I'm just really deep. Really deep.
Do you close your eyes on stage sometimes? Does that help?
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, there's only so many places to look before you're looking in somene's eyes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess. You're looking at the lights, you're thinking, and then you're looking at a 13-year-old. And you're like, oh, this song isn't probably about you. But yeah, I think I go into my own little world sometimes. And like, I always feel like I want to kind of relive what the song was about, because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm just playing the same song every night and I don't feel it at all.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in my own little world, I think.
Because that song this year specifically, it seems like a very emotional song. Like some things that you. So how do you play that? 30 shows in a row and make it genuine every time?
I think you just have to remember that. I always like to think that there's someone in the audience that's never heard of me before and has never heard the song, and maybe what that would do to hear those words for the first time. And I always get like really kind of choked up towards the end when there's this whole section about like sometimes it's hard to get up, sometimes it's hard to speak, and you think that no one understands you. And because I always imagine like if I were in the audience and I heard those words and I were not in a great place, that would probably really connect with me. So
absolutely,
that's smart. Put yourself in the other shoes.
I try.
Empathy.
Yep.
I'm looking at you to say something too, because sometimes I feel like I'm talking too much.
Oh, okay. Well, don't just stare at me.
Well, that's
There's a real romantic
like a
moment.
signal. It's like, no, it's your turn to say something. Because the last podcast,
that's too much pressure.
The last podcast,
just stare at me.
Well, what do you want me to do? It's your turn to talk now.
No,
when Tayson Day was here.
Topic.
Okay, what is the next topic? Go ahead.
What happened?
All the time.
Everybody's like, Colette didn't say anything the whole time during the Tayson, so I'm like, I gotta shut up every once in a while.
She's right. She's
sometimes
so pretty.
I don't
Nice
have a whole lot
at.
to say,
It's okay.
and sometimes I do, and then I say it. There you go.
Bam.
That's what I have to say.
So quit yelling at me. Okay, so you've been on some huge shows. I remember seeing you on Ellen, and I was like, she better be. She's probably nervous.
I was terrified.
She better be.
How does that feel? Yeah, to be on Ellen. That's a huge.
It was. I think. It was terrifying. I didn't eat for days when I found out that I was going on that show. But I think at the same time, I wasn't really prepared for it. Like I didn't realize how big it was, and so I think I wasn't as nervous as I should have been. Like I walked out there, I was like, it's gonna be okay. We're cool. And then when I was in the airport and like you were tweeting and everyone was tweeting, all of a sudden I started just crying because I realized, oh my god, I was just on television and this is real now.
Well, Ellen's audience specifically they're diehard, you know what I mean? And she has a huge audience. Ellen is loved by everybody, I feel like. Who doesn't like Ellen? You know what I mean? Ellen is like, and
do you think that helps you to be nervous, or does it hinder you?
I think a little bit of nervous is good. I think that if you get too much in your own head and you start doubting everything, then it's bad. But if you're a little bit nervous, you're not entirely sure what might happen, then it always makes, I think, for the best like shows, the best moments. So it's good to be a little nervous. If you're not nervous, then you're probably just kind of over it and you're not really there.
Then you're not really feeling the songs anyway.
Yeah. So what was Ellen like to meet her? Was she nice, or are you gonna like here to tell us like Ellen is a giant jerk?
Here's the behind the scenes. No, she smells really good.
Really?
I remember that. She was really nice. Everyone that was there was so nice, and they were so excited that I don't think that I was too nervous when I got out. Like I didn't meet her before the show. When I got on stage, that's when I met her for the first time.
Oh, really? Interesting.
And all I could think was like, don't fall and don't say any bad words, please.
Don't say any bad words.
She was super nice.
Was she?
She was so nice.
That's awesome. So then you were also on. Oh, you met Adele?
I know. I was just gonna say, wait, what?
I did. Oh, it's helpful that Brett's
out there typing stuff. This is Brett's interview. When did you meet Adele?
So at the end of being on Ellen, she was like, "We know that you love Adele. We want to fly you back out here," because she was performing the next month. And so they flew me back out. I got to sit in during her sound check. So I was just sitting there. I was just sitting there. And then Ellen went up and was kind of like, I heard her yell at my, like, Megan, come down. So I came down. So it's me, Ellen, Adele, standing there. And there's like a camera guy filming us. They sent me like a DVD, a creepy DVD later with no sound of us just all talking.
No sound?
Just like from like an outside perspective.
Yeah.
And
That's weird.
So we were just talking and she was talking about like her flight and how she doesn't like flying, blah, blah, blah. And she said something. I said, oh, I did a cover of one of your songs. And she goes, oh, I know. I've seen it.
Oh, really?
So and like when you watch the DVD that they sent me before she moves away from the mic, when Ellen's like, hey, this girl's here to see you. She was like, oh, I know her. So she had seen my YouTube videos.
Oh my gosh.
I was freaking out.
Yeah,
I was trying not to fangirl.
That's crazy. Because sometimes we talk like, I wonder like who watches our videos or who has seen our videos before. And it's always
like a
shocking.
celebrity?
You're like, no way, you saw my video?
Yeah.
That's so cool. When I met Ashton Kutcher, he was like, "Oh, Shaytards," and I was like, "What?
It's crazy.
You're handsome."
And you said, "Who are you again?"
What did I say? I can't remember what I said, but it was so funny and charming. I bet.
It probably was.
Just ask Ashton.
I'm sure it was.
Ashton will tell you.
Best friends.
He tweeted Demi about it, or they broke up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Got real
Popular
awkward.
culture. Who's he? He's dating some younger chick now.
know.
Do you know?
Mila Kunis?
Yeah, Mila Kunis. Say
He
it right,
is?
Mila.
Mila.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashton.
No.
I would date Mila Kunis.
Oh, me too. No, I wouldn't.
What? Huh?
So
think you would.
you just recently got a new tattoo.
I did.
Where
Oh,
is
I
it
got a
at?
few tattoos. I have it on my finger.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's funny how much Twitter is like everything I know about people. Like, oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I saw you tweet that. I saw you tweet that.
I got
does
okay.
it
It was.
say?
It says
Okay.
okay. It was inspired by The Fault in Our Stars by John Green.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Such a good book. It's crazy seeing that book everywhere.
Yeah.
Like in and it's cool to see he like signed so many of those. I'll just be in a random airport and I'll like, oh, there's John Green's book, and I'll open up like there's his signature, like right next there, like Twilight and everything. But you got another tattoo, right?
I have I have 7.
Tell
of
me
them.
about your tattoos.
Okay, so I have my mom and my grandma's handwriting on my wrists. That's how they sign their letters. One says always and one says love.
Oh.
I
that's
have
cool.
Monday on my foot for Project Life Size, which is my collab channel. I have an apple behind my ear that me and Mike Felzone got matching tattoos. I have my grandma's
Let me
initials.
see the apple. I haven't seen that one.
Hold on.
Take it off.
Take it all off.
Oh, cool. Cool.
That's crazy.
I have my grandma's initials in the back of my neck. I have my dad's. Ooh,
Now it's
dangerous.
just falling
Now
out.
it's just dangerous. My dad's handwriting on my
That's
shoulder.
cool. And this, what's unique
It's
about this
reversed.
is that when you look in the mirror, you can read it.
Yeah, it says the harbor is safe, so I can see it in the mirror. And then I have okay on my finger.
So Monday, that's for your collab channel. Tell us about that. So you've
So,
lost. You're looking hot. You've lost
Thank
how much?
you. You are
70
looking
pounds.
I
so
lost
good.
70 pounds.
That's amazing.
I started a collab channel 4 years ago called Project Life Size. And
Yeah.
it was kind of, I got a lot of messages from people saying, I want to do music, but I see the comments that you get. And so I would never put a video up.
Right.
And I thought that's such a horrible way to live. Like,
Right,
I'm very
afraid.
lucky that I'm confident in who I am. And so I just wanted to talk about a lot of those issues and maybe bring a lot of things to the forefront that we don't talk about because it's really uncomfortable about not just weight, but I think just not fitting a mold and feeling like kind of an outcast in society. So,
Not caring what other people think.
yeah, and just
Right.
like just instead of trying to change things because you feel ashamed or guilty, trying to change who you are as a person because you love yourself and wanting to be better as a
Right.
person as opposed to be a certain size.
Here's one thing that I always thought, because you know me, I just lost 115 pounds.
Yeah, you did.
And I always thought, like, everybody has problems, but, like, when you're overweight, you can just see your problem right there. You know, like, there's a lot of bad people out there, but you can hide that kind of stuff. You know, like, people are just, like, mean and nasty inside. You know, you can hide those kind of things. But when you're overweight, it's just kind of like right there, and then everybody judges you for that because it's just on the surface.
And I
You know
think
what
people always assume that by virtue of being overweight that means all these other things about you
Right.
that they
Which is
don't
not
assume
true.
about other people. There are a lot of people of different sizes that don't eat well or don't
Right.
work out.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But because you're small, it's like, oh well, they're fine.
Right.
They're a great example for whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the recent, the newscaster?
Yeah, Jennifer Livingston.
Yes, Jennifer Livingston. I don't know the whole story. Should I tell the story?
I don't really know what that
I don't
well.
know it either.
Well,
She
I know the
got-
story.
Tell us.
Yeah.
I kind
So
of know. Yeah, you tell
she's a news anchor. I think on their Facebook page, she got a comment or a message from a man who basically
Oh, it was on her Facebook page. I
Yeah.
thought he like sent her a letter. But
no. Well, I don't know if it was a private Facebook. I think it was
Okay.
publicly on her Facebook.
Okay.
And he basically laid out that he's never really seen the show, but he kind of tuned in and he noticed that she hasn't done anything about her weight and that she's kind of a poor example for girls and that she should work on that. That basically like she's a bad example for young women.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, so many things. Well, I think I made a video that kind of keeps coming back around and like getting on sites called I Am Fat, which was kind of exactly what she said, which is you don't really know me personally, and so you don't know my lifestyle and you don't know how I feel about my body. And you can calling me fat is not offensive. Like that's just a descriptive word.
Right.
But when you're attaching all these other things,
Right.
you're saying by virtue of being fat, you can't be successful or educated or loved or beautiful or any of these things.
Right.
And that to me is that's a worse message than someone
Yeah.
daring to be a different size and
Yeah.
being in the public eye.
What you just tweeted something are you like write for a website now or something?
Oh, I started doing. I became the new co-host for Girls Guide too.
Yes, and there was like
cool.
the picture, like the two naked ladies.
Yeah,
I mean,
Wait, what are
it
you
was a great
looking at,
article. It was a really good article. I just read it for the articles. I swear, honey.
Yeah, so I became a new co-host for Girls Guide too, and they asked me to write an article just about anything that kind of struck me, and that Jennifer Livingston thing had just happened.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me a lot of the things that I've said in my videos. And I was super happy that it kind of brought up a lot of discussion about, is that bullying? What is, like, should she lose weight? And a lot of things that I've been talking about for years. And so I just use it as kind of a jumping off point for, you know, it's okay to not fit a certain size, like, or a certain mold. It's important to be healthy. It's important to have a good relationship with food and exercise. But it's also important to balance that with being happy with who you are.
Right. Because I've, you know, with my Shay Loss channel, I've got a lot of people who are like, well, I don't need to lose weight. This doesn't pertain to me. But there's so many people who are just in horrible physical condition. Even at the marathon, I just ran this marathon in St. George, and there's a lot of, you know, like bigger people who are running 26.2 miles. That people would just to see them on the street be like, oh, fat and lazy. They can run 26 miles. There's people who are skin and bones who couldn't even run a half of a mile, you know what I mean, and just put the worst food in their body.
Because weight's not completely an indicator of health, which I think is important. I mean, it can maybe you can make assumptions based on it, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of people of different sizes who are very strong and very healthy. Yeah. And sometimes you have weight in different places, and you're different. I don't know. I like different places.
So, well, and I think it's just rude to judge in general. I mean, he was clearly judging her.
Do you think he was being a bully?
I think that he was coming at it from, I think he was hiding behind a veil of concern for someone that he didn't know.
Right.
And I feel like the mindset was definitely one more in the bullying world.
Right. That word is thrown out a lot these days, like bullying.
Yeah. I think bully is thrown out whenever someone criticizes you.
Right.
And as someone who has been the victim of bullying, I feel like sometimes it can be a little bit more intense than just someone saying a mean thing about you. It's kind of someone making your life hell. It's someone
over and over and over
and someone really, I think, traumatizing you in a lot of ways. And I think that his mindset is very interesting to me, and the conversation is very interesting to me. But she's a grown woman who is very confident in who she is and puts herself out in the public eye. And I was happy to see her address it in such a well thought out manner. Right.
No, she did. She had a very good, you know, thing that, what do you call it when you say something after somebody says something?
A response.
Big words. I liked how she said she's more than a number on a scale.
Yeah.
But one thing that I think is good too, like our friend Philip DeFranco, he just made a video yesterday talking about how, you know, he said it was definitely douchey. This guy was a douchebag, and he definitely shouldn't have said it. But maybe it wasn't necessarily bullying, because sometimes if you call everything bullying, like my mom,
anytime it takes away the power.
You're kind of like,
it takes away,
because you're kind of like taking away from those people who really are being bullied. Like if somebody makes an observation and it's rude or it's very not well thought out, that's not necessarily bullying.
It's like a hater comment.
Yeah, I mean, people say things. It's like, think before you say things. But my mom works at a middle school, and she's saying that like kids are coming now all the time to the office like, I am being bullied. And she's like, well, what happened? Well, this person said, and it's like something that's not even really bullying. Somebody just said something that's like not very considerate, but that's not necessarily bullying. Like, you know what I mean? So that word bullying, I think, is almost being overused, where it's like, there's definitely kids who are being bullied and, you know, physically harmed and like you said, like nagged every day. And, you know, I don't know. I'm not here to like define the word bullying.
I think it's hard. It's like a thin line. It's very subjective. I think like there's not like, okay, well, if this person hits you or does this so many times, then it's bullying.
Right.
But I think that it's important to just use moments like that and kind of use them as a springboard to talk about the issue of like how we treat each other and how we treat ourselves and what that says about us and how we respond to those things. Because like growing up, I was always told, you know, sticks and stones would break your bones. Words can never hurt you. Words are the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
They hurt a lot.
Like they do too.
Like sticks and like bruises go away, things like that. But like the words and thoughts, I think, can be the most destructive things ever. And so I think it's just important for us to
the golden
be
rule.
Mindful of that.
The golden
be
rule.
Mindful of other people.
And I think people don't realize, because when they see somebody different, it is just the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So think about things that you say and how that might affect some people, because it's true. Words can be very painful, and a lot of times even worse, because you know how it is in your mind. Like when you go to the dentist, you make it worse. You ever go to the dentist, you're like, this is gonna suck, this is gonna be so bad, and then afterwards you're like, I guess it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like getting tattoos.
But your mind can make it so bad. So you're moving out to LA.
I am.
Are you excited about that?
Man. I'm excited. I'm terrified.
Are you?
It's a long drive. It's a long way away from where I came from. Yeah. But I've been looking at apartments, and I just feel like I have so many friends out here, and so many people doing YouTube.
Brett,
You're gonna be
just
working.
live in Brett's
Yeah, I'm just
the
gonna move in with
music.
Brett. Yeah. I'm just gonna sleep on his couch. It's fine.
We need to talk.
That was one thing when we moved out here. I always told Colette, I'm like, honey, it's like 12 hours and we can drive home. It's like one day of driving. But with you, yeah, you're coming across the country.
Yeah,
it's not just like
it's scary, but I feel
You'll
like when I moved out to the East Coast, it was because I was there constantly traveling to do shows, and now I keep coming out here. And every time I'm here for a week, and all these amazing things happen.
You're like, I should just
I
stay
should
here.
just stay here.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you here for like a definitive, like, okay, this is my next move, I'm gonna do this? Like, you're writing your next album?
I've written the next album pretty much. Now it's just kind of about like, what do I want it to sound like?
Right.
How do I want to record it? All those things. And then I also think by virtue, I love that phrase. It's my favorite thing. I read books.
I can do the reading?
I think like with the weight loss and like just kind of changing a lot of my like lifestyle and being healthy, that's something that I definitely want to document more.
Right.
I was going to ask you, so what did you do to lose the 70 pounds? Like
I did Whole Foods. I did a program called Sommé for a while. I did Whole Foods and eating every few hours and eating like lean meats, fruits, vegetables, and then trying to work. Now I run and stuff like that. So I've been trying to run.
I've seen you been running.
Yeah, and I tweet about it too. And then
Sucks, doesn't it?
It does. I listen to a lot of rap music when I'm running.
Do you?
It makes
Does
me
that
feel like a
help?
badass.
Because rappers, they're so like confident. They're like, I'm the best. I kill people. I have all the money. And it just like, it kind of like
You're
makes
like,
you feel
I'm
confident.
gonna run this mile. Yeah, I got it.
Right?
No,
It makes you want to beat the running, not people though.
Yeah, I think it's just changing the way that I view exercise as not being the scariest thing ever, and kind of incorporating it as a fun thing.
Yeah, you definitely have to. I mean, running is hard. It is, like, I found it's the best. That was my secret. Once I started running, like, the weight just melted off.
Yeah.
People always ask me, how'd you lose weight? It's like, there's no secret. You just got to work your butt off. You got to eat better. You got to exercise, and that's it. That's the secret.
Yeah.
Is it true that you made John Green cry?
I did.
What, did you punch him or something?
Well, I've made him cry. I made him almost cry last year VidCon, and this year VidCon I got him to actually cry because.
Is this like a goal of yours?
Yeah, it's definitely a goal. I sang "The Fault Is in Our Stars," which is a song I wrote for his book on stage, and then in the beginning of it, everyone started freaking out. I'm like, "Oh, there's a green brother on stage." I sense it. I sense it.
I
looked around. I looked around. John Green standing there with his camcorder, like recording me, and then he just stood on stage the entire time, like singing along, and kind of like people are like filming him, and he's like tearing up, and he's wiping tears away, and and he hugged me at the end of it. So yeah,
we got to link to that video.
I made him cry.
That is an accomplishment.
I try.
Those guys, I love the Green Brothers. I always tell them that I always say that John Green is, I can't remember what I always say. What do I always say? He is, he's just so smart. And like when I watch his videos, I have to watch him multiple times. I'm like, no, wait, what did it? Oh, okay.
They just make me want to be better.
Right. They do.
They want to be
They always
smarter.
have like a good cause, and they're just the best.
Yeah.
Check out the Green Brothers.
Love them.
So tell us where we can get your album.
You can get my album at dftba.com, or you can go on iTunes, Amazon, any of those places that you type in my name, you will find music.
MEGHAN TONJES.
MEGHAN TONJES.
And of course, like always, we'll leave all the links to all of her stuff below. She's moving out here to LA. She's gonna babysit our kids for us.
Oh no.
Commit.
She's gonna come and sing songs to us every day.
She's gonna sing our children to sleep. She's gonna serenade us. And
yeah, thanks for being here.
I want to talk more.
Aww.
We're gonna wrap.
We can be real friends afterwards.
Gosh. All right, we're gonna go hang out.
Okay.
You guys don't get to come.
Later.
Thanks to Megan. Check her out. Our links for everything below. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Intellectual dreamboat. That's what I say. John Green is an intellectual dreamboat.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You were like, wait.
What did I? Yeah.
I can't.
What is
I was trying to
an
help you.
intellectual dreamboat?
I couldn't think of what you said.
Oh, it's so sad.